If you're over 60, there's one silent addiction that could be draining your energy, aging your cells faster, and quietly damaging your heart. And it's hiding in your morning coffee, your salad dressing, and even your so-called healthy snacks. Hello, I'm Dr. Morrison, and today I'll share a story that could change the way seniors think about sugar forever. This video is for educational purposes only. Always consult your doctor before making changes to your diet or medication. Now, let us talk about something I see almost every day in my clinic here in Florida. People who think they're re-eating pretty healthy, but can't understand why they still feel tired, foggy, and inflamed. Her name was Eleanor, a 72-year-old retired schoolteacher. When she first came into my office, she was sharp, cheerful, and frustrated. "Dr. Morrison," she said, "I've cut out desserts. I don't drink soda. I walk every morning. So why do I still feel so exhausted all the time?" Now, Eleanor was doing a lot right. But one thing she didn't realize was that sugar wears many disguises. I looked at her daily routine. Oatmeal with a drizzle of honey, a yogurt parfait mid-morning, a low-fat turkey sandwich for lunch, and a cup of tea with a little sweetener in the evening. She thought this was clean eating, but when we added it up, her sugar intake was the equivalent of 14 teaspoons a day. That's more than double what the American Heart Association recommends for women, and she had no idea. What shocked her even more wasn't just how much sugar she was eating. It was how much her body was depending on it. You see, sugar isn't just a sweetener, it's a stimulator. It lights up the brain's reward center, the same area that responds to nicotine or alcohol. When you eat sugar, your brain releases dopamine, that feel-good chemical that keeps you coming back for more. It's why you reach for that cookie, even when you're not hungry. It's why Eleanor craved something sweet after every meal. And it's why so many seniors, even those trying to live healthfully, end up trapped in a low-energy, high-inflammation cycle they can't seem to escape. So I asked Eleanor to do something bold. Let's take your body through a sugar detox, but scientifically, not drastically. Her eyes widened. A detox, like one of those juice cleanses. I smiled. "No, this one's smarter. We're not starving your body, we're retraining it." She agreed. And over the next few weeks, we began a journey that would completely change her metabolism, her energy, and her mindset. But before I tell you what happened to Eleanor, let's talk about the science behind sugar detox and why it is not just a trendy term, but a real biological reset that can extend your health span. When most people hear sugar detox, they think of giving up sweets for a week. But that's only part of the story. Inside your body, sugar doesn't just dissolve, it triggers a storm. When you eat something sweet, your blood glucose spikes. Your pancreas jumps into action, releasing insulin, a hormone designed to push sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells. If you do this once in a while, no big deal. But if you do it every single day, even in small doses, your body starts losing its sensitivity to insulin. That's called insulin resistance, and it's one of the biggest hidden drivers of fatigue and brain fog, weight gain, especially around the belly, high blood pressure, type 2, diabetes, accelerated aging. Now here's the scary part. And something I tell every patient over 60, you can have insulin resistance for years without realizing it. You might not have diabetes, you might not even have high blood sugar yet, but your body's cells are quietly struggling to absorb glucose, and your insulin levels are climbing higher and higher behind the scenes. That's the silent phase, the phase where energy crashes, joint stiffness and mood dips start sneaking in. And when seniors come to me complaining about just feeling off, I often find the fingerprints of sugar all over their labs. Take James, a 65-year-old former engineer from Texas. He came in complaining of fatigue, poor sleep, and brain fog that he thought was just aging. But his fasting insulin levels, sky high, his sugar intake, mostly from healthy granola bars, flavored yogurts, and fruit juices. We started a 30-day sugar detox plan together, carefully structured with real foods, hydration, and fiber. By week 3, James told me, "Doc, I woke up this morning and actually felt clear-headed for the first time in years." That's not magic. That's metabolic repair. When you lower your sugar intake, your body begins to reverse insulin resistance. Your liver gets a break. Your cells start using energy more efficiently. Your inflammation levels drop. And if you're over 60, that means better brain function, stronger immunity, and even improved balance and sleep. But here's the thing, a sugar detox isn't easy, especially for seniors, because sugar withdrawal is real, and it can make you feel worse before you feel better. When Eleanor began her sugar detox, I warned her about what was coming. I told her, the first 7 days are going to feel like a storm, not in your stomach, but in your mind. She smiled politely, thinking I was exaggerating. But by day 3, she called me. "Dr. Morrison, I don't understand. I'm dizzy, irritable. I can't stop thinking about muffins." And that's when I explained something that surprises most people. Sugar withdrawal is not just psychological, it's neurochemical. You see, when you eat sugar frequently, your brain gets used to those little bursts of dopamine, that same pleasure chemical that lights up when you laugh with your grandkids or hug a loved one. But over time, your brain builds tolerance. It starts demanding more sugar to get the same feel-good response. And when you suddenly take that away, your brain panics. It's like trying to turn down the volume on a rock concert that's been blasting for years. The silence feels uncomfortable, even wrong. That's why Eleanor's mood dipped, why her energy crashed, and why she found herself standing in front of her pantry one night at 10 p.m., staring at a box of cookies, wondering if one bite would really hurt. Most people relapse here because the withdrawal symptoms mimic so many everyday issues, fatigue, headache, irritability, that they assume the detox is hurting them. But in reality, it's the opposite. That discomfort is the sound of your body rebalancing. Your dopamine levels are resetting. Your pancreas is finally resting. Your cells are starting to listen to insulin again. I told Eleanor, if you can push through 3 more days, your body will start rewarding you, not punishing you. She trusted me, and on day 6, she called again. This time her voice sounded lighter. She said, "You know, I didn't crave dessert after dinner tonight. I actually felt satisfied." That, right there, is the moment your body begins to heal. Let's talk about what's happening under the surface. When you stop consuming added sugars, your body begins to clear out excess insulin. Your liver, which has been working overtime to process fructose, finally starts releasing stored fat and toxins. Your inflammation markers, like C-reactive protein, begin to drop. And your blood vessels, which were stiffened by high glucose levels, start regaining flexibility. This is when many seniors report something remarkable. They don't just lose weight, they gain clarity. Their joints ache less, their digestion improves, and some even tell me they sleep more deeply than they have in years. That's not coincidence. That's chemistry resetting itself. Around the same time, I had another patient, Tom, 68, from Arizona. He started his sugar detox the same week as Eleanor, but unlike Eleanor, Tom thought he could cheat just a little. He kept his morning flavored creamer and a healthy protein bar every afternoon. When we checked his labs 3 weeks later, his fasting insulin barely budged. He told me, "Doc, I don't get it. I've cut down a lot." But when we looked closer, those small hidden sugars, even 10 or 15 grams a day, were keeping his metabolism locked in a holding pattern. You see, sugar detox isn't about deprivation. It's about consistency. Your body can't heal from something you keep reintroducing, even in small doses. So how can seniors safely go through a sugar detox without feeling miserable and actually enjoy the process? Because here's the truth, you don't have to live in withdrawal. There's a smarter, more sustainable way to wean off sugar that uses biology to your advantage. When people hear the word detox, they imagine green juices, fasting, or suffering through endless cravings. But as I tell my patients, especially seniors, sugar detox should never be about punishment. It should be about healing. So today, I want to guide you through the same simple step-by-step plan I use in my clinic. A plan built specifically for aging bodies, those dealing with slower metabolism, medications, and years of habit. And yes, it's the plan that helped Eleanor go from sugar-dependent to sugar-free in less than 21 days. The first 72 hours of your sugar detox are your reset window. Think of it as telling your brain, we're going to do things differently now. For those 3 days, your focus isn't on cutting calories, it's on cutting triggers. That means no sodas, sweetened teas, flavored coffee creamers, no pastries, cookies or cereals, no ketchup, BBQ sauce or low-fat salad dressings. They're sugar traps in disguise. Instead, we swap sugar with stability, water or herbal tea with lemon high-protein breakfasts like eggs or Greek yogurt. Healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, nuts. These foods stabilize blood sugar so your brain doesn't go into panic mode. I tell my patients, you're not starving your body, you're retraining it. By day 3, you'll notice fewer sugar cravings because your insulin levels start to normalize. After those first 3 days, it's time to nourish, not restrict. This is where many seniors make the mistake of undereating, thinking it'll help them detox faster. But undereating causes your blood sugar to crash, which triggers, you guessed it, sugar cravings. So I encourage what I call the Nourish 9. 9 essential foods that fight sugar naturally. Oats or quinoa for slow-release energy, berries for antioxidants and fiber, leafy greens like spinach and kale. Sweet potatoes, nature's candy but balanced, avocados for healthy fats, eggs or fish for protein, almonds or walnuts for sustained fullness, olive oil, your anti-inflammatory ally, green tea, nature's gentle detoxifier. These foods not only help balance your glucose levels, but they also repair your gut, where much of your sugar craving originates. Now let's talk about the hardest time for most people, evenings. That's when you've had dinner, you're watching TV, and the cookie jar starts calling your name. To beat that, I teach a trick I call the sleep switch. Because most evening sugar cravings aren't about hunger, they're about fatigue. Your body is simply asking for an energy boost before bed. Instead of sugar, try this. A magnesium-rich snack like a banana with peanut butter, a warm cup of cinnamon tea. It balances blood sugar. Or if you're truly hungry, a handful of nuts or Greek yogurt. These options give your body calm, slow-burning energy, not the roller coaster that sugar causes. And the best part? Many of my patients report that within 1 week their sleep quality improves, their midnight bathroom trips reduce, and they wake up with more natural energy. No detox is complete without addressing the mental side. For many seniors, sugar isn't just about taste, it's about comfort. It's the piece of cake at your granddaughter's birthday, the ice cream after a stressful day. I understand that deeply, so instead of telling yourself, I can't have that, reframe it as, I choose to give my body something better. One of my patients, Gary, 74, from Ohio, used this mindset shift. He wrote down every time he craved something sweet and replaced it with gratitude. Instead of a cookie, I gave myself a walk. Instead of soda, I called my daughter. 3 weeks later, his sugar cravings were nearly gone, and he'd lost 8 pounds. Here's where most people go wrong after detox. They feel great, their energy is up, and they think, maybe I can have just a slice of cake now. Now, occasional sugar is fine, but the key word is intentional. If you're going to enjoy something sweet, make it worth it. Have it after a balanced meal to slow absorption. And choose real, whole foods, honey, fruit, dark chocolate, not processed candy. I tell my patients, sugar isn't evil, it's just overused. Like a medicine, the dose determines whether it heals or harms. If I had to summarize it into one simple daily plan, it would look like this. Morning, protein plus fiber plus hydration. Example, eggs, oatmeal, and green tea. Midday, balanced meal with healthy fats and complex carbs. Example, grilled salmon, quinoa, greens. Evening, light dinner plus herbal tea or cinnamon drink. Example, vegetable soup and avocado toast. Night, gratitude, deep breathing, and no sugary snacks. Do this for 21 days, and I promise you, your taste buds will change. You'll start to find natural sweetness in foods again. Even an apple will taste like dessert. But what if you've been eating sugar for decades? What if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic and detox feels too risky? You know, one of the most common questions I get from my senior patients after they start a sugar detox is this. Dr. Morrison, is it even safe for me? I've been eating sugar for 40 years and I'm on 3 different medications. It's a great question, and the answer is yes, but only if you do it the right way. So let's talk about what actually happens in your body when you start cutting sugar, especially if you're over 60. The moment you reduce sugar, your blood glucose and insulin levels start to normalize. For younger adults, this shift can happen quickly, but for seniors, the body's metabolism reacts differently. Here's why. As we age, the pancreas, the organ that produces insulin, doesn't respond as efficiently. The liver, our detox powerhouse, becomes slower at processing excess glucose, and our muscles, which normally soak up sugar for energy, lose mass with age, making it easier for sugar to linger in the bloodstream. So when a senior suddenly cuts sugar, the body can feel confused at first. That's why some people experience fatigue, irritability, or even mild headaches during the first 3 to 5 days. It's not withdrawal, it's recalibration. Your body is relearning how to create energy from fats and proteins instead of the constant sugar drip it's used to. Now, if you're managing diabetes or insulin resistance, sugar detox can feel scary, and rightly so. Sudden changes in diet can impact your medication levels, especially if you're on insulin or glucose-lowering drugs. So here's my professional guidance. Do not go cold turkey. Gradually reduce sugar intake over 7-10 days. Monitor your glucose twice a day. Morning fasting and 2 hours after meals. Eat balanced meals. Every plate should have protein, fiber, and healthy fats to stabilize blood sugar. Never skip meals. Skipping causes sugar spikes and crashes, especially dangerous for seniors on medication. And if you notice dizziness, sweating, or trembling, that's your body signaling low blood sugar. Have a small, balanced snack, like a few nuts and a slice of apple, and check your glucose again. I once had a patient, Roger, age 68, from Michigan. He started a sugar detox after watching one of my earlier videos. At first, he felt lightheaded every afternoon. After adjusting his meal timing and increasing his protein intake, those symptoms disappeared. And 3 months later, his doctor reduced his diabetes medication for the first time in years. That's the kind of success I love to see. Now let's move from the bloodstream to the brain, because sugar detox isn't just about your waistline, it's about your mind. Excess sugar damages neurons, increases inflammation, and has been linked to memory decline, even early cognitive impairment in seniors. When you cut sugar, your brain starts producing more brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. Think of it as fertilizer for your neurons. That's why many of my patients report clearer thinking, improved focus, and even better moods after 2 to 3 weeks off sugar. And here's the most exciting part. Sugar detox can actually help restore dopamine balance in the brain. That's the feel-good chemical that sugar hijacks. So when you quit sugar, your happiness no longer depends on the next sweet fix. It comes from real-life joy again. Imagine that. Your brain literally relearning how to feel happy without sugar. Let's not forget about the liver, one of the most overlooked organs in sugar detox. Did you know that consuming too much added sugar can cause fatty liver disease, even if you don't drink alcohol? It's true, and it's becoming one of the fastest growing liver problems in the USA, especially among seniors. The good news? The liver is incredibly forgiving. Within just 2 to 3 weeks of cutting out added sugars, your liver starts breaking down stored fat and flushing out toxins more efficiently. That's when you begin to notice less bloating after meals, more consistent energy, and better digestion overall. I had a 73-year-old patient, Betty, from Arizona, who'd struggled with elevated liver enzymes for years. She replaced her daily sugary soda with green tea and lemon water, that one change, and 3 months later, her lab results were normal for the first time in a decade. She told me, "Dr. Morrison, I didn't know I could feel this light at 73. And I said, "Betty, it's not about age. It's about what you feed your body. And your body always listens." There's one more crucial piece many people forget. Some medications increase sugar cravings. Certain drugs, like steroids, beta blockers, and antidepressants, can interfere with your glucose metabolism. That's why you might feel hungrier for sweets, even when you're trying your best to cut down. So if you notice that pattern, don't blame your willpower. Talk to your doctor. Sometimes a simple medication adjustment or timing change can make your detox journey smoother and safer. I always tell my patients, a successful sugar detox isn't about eliminating sugar overnight. It's about eliminating guilt and confusion. When you understand what's happening in your body, you gain control, not fear. Now here's something encouraging. The subtle signs that your sugar detox is working. You might experience more stable energy throughout the day, clearer skin, better sleep, reduced joint pain, fewer headaches, and even improved digestion. These are not coincidences. They're evidence that your inflammation is going down and your cells are recovering. Remember, the goal of a sugar detox isn't perfection, it's progress. Every small reduction in added sugar gives your body more room to heal. Now that we've explored the science and the safety behind sugar detox, let's move to something every senior loves to ask me about. Dr. Morrison, what should I actually eat every day to stay off sugar and still enjoy my meals? Now that we've explored what sugar detox does inside your body, let's talk about what you actually put on your plate. Because this is where most sugar detox journeys fail, not from lack of willpower, but from lack of a plan. You see, your brain is wired to seek energy, and for decades, sugar has been the quick fix it's learned to trust. When you suddenly take it away, your brain panics. It whispers, "Where's my next sweet?" So the trick isn't to starve the brain, it's to retrain it and feed it better. Let's go day by day through what I call the 7-day senior sugar detox blueprint. On the first day, we focus on removing the obvious sugars. That means no sodas, sweet teas, or fruit juices. Skip pastries, cookies, and breakfast cereals. Choose water, unsweetened tea, or black coffee. Now, I can almost hear some of you saying, "Dr. Morrison, how am I supposed to live without my morning muffin?" And I get it. I used to love cinnamon rolls myself, until I learned that one roll could have over 40 grams of sugar, more than your entire daily limit. So instead, start your day with protein and healthy fats. Try this: 2 eggs, half an avocado, and a slice of whole grain toast. Or a Greek yogurt with cinnamon and a handful of berries. You'll notice something incredible by afternoon: fewer cravings. Because when your breakfast is balanced, your blood sugar stays steady and your brain stops begging for sweets. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this: dehydration mimics sugar cravings. When your body needs water, your brain often signals hunger, especially for something sweet. So today, your mission is simple. Aim for at least 8 glasses of water. Add lemon, cucumber, or mint for flavor, And if you're over 65, consider sipping water every hour. Your body's thirst signal weakens with age. I had a patient named Laura, 74, from Georgia. She told me, "Dr. Morrison, I used to eat chocolate every afternoon like clockwork. But once I started drinking more water, I realized I wasn't hungry. I was just dry." That's how powerful hydration is during sugar detox. Most seniors grew up fearing fat, but that was one of the biggest nutritional mistakes of the 20th century. Healthy fats don't make you gain weight. They help you stay full longer and balance your blood sugar. Today, I want you to add healthy fats to every meal. Avocado, olive oil, nuts and seeds, fatty fish like salmon or sardines. These foods feed your brain and calm your appetite. In fact, one study showed that adding avocado to a senior's lunch reduced sugar cravings by 40% for the next 5 hours. So, if you've ever said, "I just can't stop thinking about sweets," try adding a little more healthy fat. Your cravings will shrink naturally. Here's a rule I teach all my senior patients. The more fiber, the fewer sugar cravings. Fiber slows digestion, stabilizes glucose, and feeds healthy gut bacteria, which directly influence your appetite. Try including oatmeal with chia seeds for breakfast, lentil or bean soup for lunch, roasted vegetables and quinoa for dinner. Fiber doesn't just help your gut, it helps your brain. A healthy gut microbiome produces serotonin, your feel-good hormone. So when your gut is balanced, your mood stabilizes, and emotional sugar cravings begin to fade. I call this the hidden happiness effect of sugar detox. By day 5, your body is shifting gears, you're burning more stored fat, and your blood sugar levels are evening out. Now it's time to focus on protein for repair and energy. Protein preserves muscle mass, something that becomes vital as we age. Less muscle means slower metabolism, and that means your body burns sugar less efficiently. So for today, try this. Breakfast, cottage cheese and strawberries. Lunch, grilled chicken salad with olive oil. Dinner, baked salmon, green beans and quinoa. And if you're vegetarian, go for lentils, tofu or Greek yogurt. Protein helps keep you strong, not just physically but mentally. It keeps your body in balance even as your metabolism changes with age. By now, many of you will feel lighter, more awake, and surprisingly, calm. That's your insulin levels stabilizing. Today's focus is natural energy. Instead of reaching for sugar for a pick-me-up, rely on short walks after meals. They lower blood sugar naturally, a handful of almonds or blueberries. Green tea, a wonderful metabolism booster for seniors. One of my favorite patients, Harold from North Carolina, told me, "Dr. Morrison, I didn't think I could survive without sugar, but I've got more energy now than when I was 50. And it's true. Real energy doesn't come from sugar spikes. It comes from metabolic balance. Congratulations. By day 7, you've completed one full cycle of sugar detox. Your taste buds are already resetting, that's right. Sugar no longer tastes as addictive as it used to. Even a piece of fruit now feels sweet and satisfying. Today, celebrate, not with cake, but with gratitude. You've proven to your body that it can thrive without sugar. I always tell my patients, sugar detox isn't about punishment, it's about freedom. Freedom from fatigue, guilt, and inflammation. So today, take a deep breath, walk outside, enjoy a meal with your family, maybe grilled veggies, wild salmon, and fresh berries. Because this isn't the end of your journey, it's the start of your renewal. If you've made it this far, I want you to pause for a moment, close your eyes, and think back to the last time you woke up feeling truly alive. No sugar crash, no afternoon fatigue, no aching joints or cloudy thoughts, just calm, steady energy, the kind you had when life felt lighter. That's what this journey is all about, and it's not just possible, it's within reach. I'm Dr. Morrison, and if there's one truth I've learned after 30 years of treating seniors across the USA, it's this: most people don't lose their health overnight. They lose it 1 teaspoon at a time. 1 soda here, 1 pastry there, 1. Just a little treat after dinner, repeated over decades. Sugar doesn't shout, it whispers. It tells you, you deserve this, while quietly draining your energy, inflaming your body, and stealing your independence. But here's the good news. It's reversible. I've seen it countless times. Let me share a story. Janet, a 69-year-old retired nurse from Ohio, came to me 3 years ago. She was pre-diabetic, always tired, and she told me something that broke my heart. Dr. Morrison, I just want to be able to play with my grandkids without getting winded. We started small. She cut out sodas, added healthy fats, and walked every evening for just 15 minutes. Within a month, her cravings were almost gone. Within 3 months, her fasting blood sugar dropped 20 points, and 6 months later, she was walking 2 miles a day. No medications added. When I asked her how she felt, she said, "It's like someone turned the lights back on inside me." That's the power of freeing your body from sugar. When seniors break free from sugar, I've seen 5 incredible transformations again and again. Sharper mind. Brain fog clears as inflammation drops and neurons get steady energy. Stronger heart. Triglycerides and LDL cholesterol fall within weeks. Steadier energy. No more post-lunch crashes or nap attacks. Better sleep. Your body finally rests instead of fighting sugar-induced stress. Brighter skin. Inflammation fades. Your skin glows because your cells are hydrated and clean. It's not a miracle. It's biology working the way it was designed to. Here's something many people don't realize. Too much sugar doesn't just cause diabetes. It accelerates aging. Sugar molecules attach to proteins in your body in a process called glycation. This forms compounds called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. And yes, the name says it all. AGEs literally make you age faster, wrinkled skin, stiff joints and tired organs. But when you detox from sugar, those damaging compounds start to decline. Your body begins to repair, your arteries become more flexible, your energy rebounds, and your immune system strengthens. So when I call Sugar Detox the fountain of youth for seniors, I'm not exaggerating. It's real, measurable, cellular rejuvenation. Now, let's be real. Nobody's perfect. You'll go to a birthday, a grandchild's graduation, or a holiday dinner, and someone will hand you a slice of cake. That's okay. A sugar detox isn't a prison sentence. It's a reset button. When you slip, don't shame yourself. Simply ask, why did I reach for sugar right now? Was it hunger, stress, boredom? Awareness is your best medicine. Here's what I tell my patients. If you eat sugar, balance it. Drink water, take a walk, have a protein snack later. Because one choice doesn't define you, the pattern does. And once your body is used to balance, it naturally finds its way back. After 3-4 weeks, something beautiful happens. Your taste buds reboot. That same candy bar that once felt irresistible now tastes too sweet. You begin to crave real food. Fresh berries taste like dessert. Even a cup of green tea feels rewarding. And your mornings, they're brighter, your mind clearer, your energy steady. I call this the second youth phase, when seniors rediscover the natural vitality they thought was gone forever. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with a few simple tools that make sugar freedom last. Start your day strong. Breakfast sets your metabolism. Aim for protein, fiber, and healthy fats, not carbs. Use nature's sweetness. Swap sugar for cinnamon, vanilla, or even a few drops of pure stevia. Keep your pantry honest. Read labels. Sugar hides behind over 60 names, from maltose to brown rice syrup. Don't drink your calories. Beverages are the #1 hidden sugar trap in America. Stick to water, tea, or black coffee. Move after meals. A simple 10-minute walk lowers your blood sugar by up to 30%. Protect your sleep. Lack of rest increases sugar cravings and insulin resistance. Celebrate small victories. Every day you choose health, you're rewiring your future. Before we end, I want you to hear this. Not as your doctor, but as someone who truly believes in you. You are not too old to change, you are not too late to heal, and you are not defined by what you used to eat. Your body has an extraordinary power to repair itself at any age when you simply give it the chance. So if you're ready to feel younger, clearer, and stronger than you have in years, start with one step: reduce your sugar intake, and watch how your body thanks you. And remember, aging is not about slowing down, it's about unlocking your next chapter. If this message spoke to you, drop a comment below. Tell me what your biggest sugar struggle is, and if you've already tried a sugar detox, share your story. You might inspire someone else today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so more seniors across the USA can take control of their health, one choice at a time. Because here at Senior Health Tips, we're building a stronger, sharper, longer living community together.